Hi everyone, this is audap. Let's continue our game of Root Film on Nintendo Switch. When she finds who she's looking... Oh, okay. I did all this, didn't I?
あ、そういえばあの人も。
警察に提出したのと別にバックアップ取ってあるって。だからこれお借りしてきました。
Magari accepts the memory stick from Hishitoa as if it were a prized treasure, as she cheers for joy.
これなら別角度の映像もバッチリだね。これできっとなんとかなるよ。よくやったね、ひとはちゃん。役に立じゃあ自分だけでこっからはやるからさ。ひとはちゃんとかなでさんは宿に戻ってていいよ。でも平行解析となると朝までかかるだろうしさ、一人で集中したいからその方がいいの。
行きましょう、天方さん。疲れているようだし、宿で休んだ方がいい。それにここにいてもマガリさんの邪魔になるだけです。
はい。
Magari must be worried about Hishitoa after noticing she wasn't looking too good. Realizing Magari's concern, Hishitoa gives in and leaves the van quietly with Kanade. With the van all to herself, Magari transfers the video data from the memory stick to her laptop and slaps her cheeks to wake herself up. After regaining her motivation, Magari fiercely types away. Yagumo Part 4, Chapter 3.
Aine-san, いますか?
With the light of the morning sun at their backs, Hishitoa and Kanade open the van and look inside. What they find is an exhausted Magari hugging her laptop. For a second, but... Kanade and Hishitoa look at each other and chuckle. They gently try to wake her up, but before that... Oh. They see the results of Magari's overnight work displayed on her laptop monitor. Early morning. The trio barges into the room without knocking, startling Misawa and Keishino as they peruse through documents face to face. Magari steps forward, opens up her laptop, and shows it to them without saying a word.
監督が潔白だって証拠っす。
なんだと。
With a smirk, Magari presses a key and shows the furious detectives 2 videos.
事件の瞬間の動画ですね。どちらも我々の手元にもありますが。
そう、発砲音がして桜井さんが倒れる瞬間の映像っすね。こいつを映像内の音源特定ができる解析ツールにかけてみるとこうなるっす。虹色の波紋みたいに表示されているのが音源位置ってことっすね。実際には観客の声やお囃子の音なんかもあるっすけど、それらを除去して発砲音だけに絞って表示すると、
おお、こいつは。
そう、左の映像だと監督の体と被っててはっきりしないっすけど、右の映像だと。
ヤグモのやつとはかなり離れた位置で発砲音が鳴ってるな。
つまりヤグモは白だと証明されたってことですか。
でもこいつらが言ってたことが正解ってことだろう。
それじゃあ監督の潔白を信じてくれるんですね。
Yeah. As soon as Misawa says that, the trio cheers. Then they high five. But Misawa furrows his eyebrows and interrupts their celebration.
お前ら喜んでばかりはいられねえぞ。こうなるとこの事件やばい話になってきてるかもしれん。
それはどういうことです？
As if to say, take a look, Misawa tosses the documents he had been holding onto the desk. The trio peeks at it to find it's some sort of medical record.
これは
桜井徹の彼
警部、その情報は。
いいから、ここまで来たらこいつらと情報共有しといた方がいい。
はあ。
Misawa silences the protesting Keishino and continues to address the trio.
医者の話によると2週間ほど前、桜井の頼みしたそうだ。
Sakurai got his left hand amputated before the incident.
左手を？
そもそも奴の左手は仲間にリンチされた時に神経をやられて動かなくなってたそうだな。それで奴もためらいはなかったらしい。
やっぱりそういうことだったんですね。
さらに4ヶ月ほど前から定期的に血液を採取して貯蔵した血液も左手首も事前にそうやって用意していたってわけだ。
それじゃあやはり桜井さんは自分の死を偽装して身を隠そうとしてたんですね。
そういうことだな。自分の遺体が燃えたように見せたのもフェイクだろう。鑑識の話だと軽質な
Light naphtha was found at the crime scene.
軽質ナフ素？低温の炎が出る燃料だね。やけどの心配がほとんどないからたまに撮影なんかでも使われるよ。なるほど。
だとすると、奴はどこからか入手してきた他人の位牌と切断しておいた左手首を残してまんまと逃げ出したってことですか？
そういうことになるな。しかもまんまとヤグモに罪を着せてだ。
罪を着せるのは誰でもよかったわけじゃなさそうですね。
断定はできんが、こうなってくると事件の目的が 最初からヤグモを陥れる。実はな、昨日通信会社からヤグモの通話とメールの履歴を提出させた。奴のメールを確認した限りだと、天才とかいう霊能者に会うために逃亡したらしい。
熊代有限祭？確か。
そしてヤグモは熊代有限祭からのメールによる指示通り、おととい稲佐の浜に移動してるのが GPS で確認されてる。
それじゃあ今回の事件も裏で糸を引いてたのは
その熊代有限祭とかいうやつってこった。しかもメールを見る限りなぜかはわからんが、奴はヤグモに執着している。そして熊代有限祭と桜井徹が同一人物、あるいはつるんでいたとする
まさか監督がヤバいってことっすか？
と、その可能性も考えなきゃいけなくなったってことだ。
そんな悠長な。今監督は無事なんすか？稲佐の浜にいたことまで分かってるんならとっくに捕まえてるんすよね。
付近の所轄が追ってるが、その後の足取りはつかめてないんだ。
じゃあ何やってんすか？こういう時こそ警察がしっかりしてないとダメっしょ。そうですよ。このままじゃ監督さんの身に何か危険が。
分かってるよ、落ち着け。
落ち着いてなんかいらんないっすよ。早く監督見つけないと。
いいから落ち着けって。とにかくだ、お前らの持ってきた解析画像で奴の潔白は証明されたからな。すぐに指名手配は撤回。代わりに重要な保護対象者として引き続き県警挙げて捜索させる。もちろん俺たちも探す。それでいいな。
だったら自分たちも探すっす。なんか何でもいいんで手がかり。稲佐の浜からどこへ向かったのか、何か手がかりあるんでしょう？
Misawa hesitates for a while before letting out a deep sigh and turning to Keishino.
あれ、見せてやれ。
It's a log of Yagumo's emails from the police somehow obtained from the telecommunications company. Subject, you kept your promise. From Yukansai Kamoshito. Dear Max Yagumo, I confirmed your presence at Inasa Beach. I'm ever so pleased. Please look for 300 Hiroge. There, I'll give you new instructions to see me. Soon. Soon we'll meet face to face. I can't wait.
これが確認できている限り、奴と熊代有限祭の最後のコンタクトだ。300広げってのが何を意味してるのか、それは分かっていないがな。
稲佐の浜のある出雲市には広げ海岸、広げ遺跡といった場所がありますが、
そちらも人員を回してるんだがな。ヤグモらしき人物は今のところ確認できていない。
ですか。
ま、これから俺たちもその近辺を当たってみる。お前らも何か分かったらこっちに連絡しろ。行くぞ、兵士の。
はい。
Misawa hands Magari a business card as he quickly drags Keishino out of the room. Magari looks down at the business card. Alongside Misawa's name and title is contact info for the prefectural police headquarters, as well as Misawa's personal cell number written in pen. A small metal sound rings out behind Yagumo as his hands become free. For as long as he had been handcuffed, he had been twisting them all the way one way, and then the other.
おもちゃの手錠なんざこんなもんだ。
With free hands, you can easily remove the toy handcuffs with the push of a button on the side. Yagumo rubs his sweaty face and his newly freed hands and stands up. Now then, let's find that fox-masked bastard and smack them upside the head. Yagumo has already gone 2 days without food or water. He rubs his aching throat and looks around the room. Yagumo approaches the device and stares at it. Looks like a pipe connected deep inside. What kind of device is this? He brings his face up close and tries listening, but it's not making any sound. He looks on top of the desk. He didn't notice when he was seated and bound, but there's a pile of books, a fountain pen, and Japanese writing paper scattered about. The paper's really yellowed with age, but there's some unfinished text on it. Does this building belong to a writer? When he finds a familiar wallet and phone placed haphazardly under the pile. It's my wallet and phone. Now, why would that bastard just leave them here? Yagumo frantically checks his wallet, but it seems the contents have been untouched. Yagumo sighs in relief as he pockets with an honest, sane person here. Yagumo readies himself and turns on his phone. Once it boots up, he dials 110, puts his phone up to his ear, and waits, only for the call tone to keep looping. Weird. It shouldn't take this long to call 110. He hangs up and checks his phone screen. On the top right, it says no service. No service? How far out in the sticks am I? No, wait. Capricious Hall is in Iwami. No way it'd be out of the network this day and age. Which means the building itself. And Yagumo decides not to waste his battery anymore and pockets his phone. Yagumo tries pounding on the wall, which only results in a heavy sound echoing back. Seems like a pretty sturdy wall. Guess I'm not busting the wall down anytime soon. There's a mini fridge, like the ones you would expect to find in a business hotel. When he looks inside, he finds 2 toppled over bottles of... Yagumo reaches inside, grabs a bottle, rips off the cap, and chugs it down. It seems the fridge has no power. The water may be lukewarm, but it's the first source of hydration Yagumo's had in 2 days. But it's kind of stale. Yagumo checks the label on the bottle. The bottle's already 8 years past its expiration date. That explains it. Heat-treated water doesn't actually... So even years after its expiration date, a sealed water bottle should be safe to drink. That said, a plastic bottle is slightly permeable, so it can go stale. Well, it's not like drinking it's going to kill me. I can really use the hydration anyway. Yagumo tosses the empty container and picks up the remaining bottle. Yagumo tries to open the door. The knob turns, but no matter how much he pulls, it won't budge. Is the door locked too? Yagumo stoops down and squints, trying to peek through the door's gap. Through the gap, he can see a thin sheet of metal lying. In that case, Yagumo gets the thinnest card from the wallet he just retrieved, an electronic store rewards card, and sticks it in the door's gap. He then slowly slides the card upwards until he feels the latch lock click open. What a cheap lock. Yagumo scoffs as he opens the door and heads out into the hall. In the hallway, Yagumo can't help but hug his body as he shivers. For some reason, the floor's AC is turned on high, so it's cold and dry even though it's summer. What's up with that? Is it just that hot wearing that cape and fox mask? I seriously doubt you'd wear that entire getup 24/7 though. Yagumo looks around but can't find anything that even resembles a window. Am I underground? In any case, I can't let myself get caught by that fox bastard. When he gets into the room, he smells the familiar scent of old books you'd get at a used bookstore. There's a shelf taller than Yagumo with various textbooks on history, medicine, and climatology. Is this a reference room? Doubt I'll find any food. An ovular landscape painting hangs on the wall. I don't get it, but it'd fetch a pretty penny at an appraisal show, I bet. Mountains and rivers, huh? Thanks to the low stroke count, I can manage to read that. Not that there's any point in reading it. There's framed calligraphy that says aspiration. Aspiration. Ogokoro. It's read that way in a poem in the Manya show, right? Yagumo gives up on staring at the calligraphy and looks down to the mirror underneath. Worse than usual. Though I guess I haven't washed my face in 4 days. Yagumo stares at some framed calligraphy. Looks like it's written in that Tencho script. I'm not cultured enough to read it. Looks like the ritualistic mask you'd see from the South Seas of Africa. Just seeing dark rooms like this is enough to... I should examine this room a little more just to be safe. The more I look at this device, the less it makes sense. Yagumo looks at the things on the desk again. Everything's covered in dust. Nothing's seen any use recently. I thought I'd find a clue to who's behind the fox mask, but I doubt that bastard's been using these things. Ah, so how long ago did his sister's story take place in? Yagumo looks in the refrigerator again, but finds nothing of value. Damn it! I was hoping to find. Yeah, because it must have happened before he came here. Her case must be in the past then, since this place is kind of a wreck. This room's door seems kind of overkill. It seems quite thick and sturdy, but... He braces himself and opens the thick metal door. That moment. A bizarre, rotten stench stings his nose. Scattered about the floor is a thick, dark red liquid. At that moment, Yagumo recalls what the fox mask had said. No, any food entering your system will just reek during the dissection. Yagumo holds back the bitter juices welling up from his stomach as he slams the door shut. Locked shut. Is that an elevator? Judging by the sign, Yagumo's current floor is B1, meaning he's underground. I should be able to escape if I go upstairs with this thing. Yagumo keeps tapping the elevator button, but it doesn't light up or respond at all. In fact, the numerical display overhead isn't showing anything either. Is it broken? No, that can't be it. Had to have used it to move, which means... There's a peculiar nose-tickling stench in the dark room. Upon closer inspection, there's small labels underneath the cultural artifacts. According to the labels, many of the items were collected from Africa. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from here, isn't it? Aspiration. What's the point of the words you can't read? Mountains and rivers. Is there some sort of meaning to these characters? The writing's so elaborate, it's possible to read characters. What's the point of words you can't read? Mountains and rivers. Now we can see here. When Yagumo looks down, he notices something strange. I don't have a reflection? He thought it was a full mirror, but it's apparently not. When he reaches out, he feels something cold and hard. Just this part's glass, huh? I thought this was like any other mirror reflecting this room, but does that mean this isn't an image, but an actual identical room? Yagumo checks out the glass panel, but it seems firmly set in the wall and won't budge. There should be a way to get past this. Upon... oh, that's right. Okay, mountains and rivers is the clue, so... Yagumo stares at the large ovular landscape painting hanging on the wall. Mountains and rivers, huh? After making up his mind, Yagumo reaches for the landscape painting and pulls on it. Yagumo, the landscape painting opens like a door, revealing a passageway. Does that passage lead to that inner room? What the hell is this building? Yagumo has no way of knowing what sort of building this capricious hall is, or how it was built. His mouth wide open in surprise at the suddenly open passage, Yagumo can only think to himself. The inner room smells even mustier than all the other rooms Yagumo's been in. It must have gone untouched for quite some time. I need something to eat, but it doesn't look like I'll find anything in here. In a room full of dust and discoloration, the slightly new-looking cardboard box stands out. That looks new, which means there might be something edible in there still. Yagumo grabs the cardboard box off the shelf and opens the top. But contrary to his expectations, all he finds are two disc-shaped metal cans. Wait. What? Are those film reel cans? Though disappointed, Yagumo picks up the cans. He casually looks at the label on the back side, only to gasp in shock. 2010 Shimane Mystery Project Volume 1. That's what's written clearly on the label in permanent marker. No way. He checks the label on the other film reel can, only to see it's Volume 2. Are these films from that TV drama project? What are they doing in a place like this? That fraud Yukinsai Kumashiro did hint that he knew the truth behind this project. So, is it Yukinsai Kumashiro wearing that fox mask after all? I guess I really gotta beat the truth out of him. Yagumo tentatively tucks the film cans into his shirt before standing back up. He didn't notice it before, since it was hidden by the box, but there's a breaker behind the shelf. There are about 4 breaker switches, but only one labeled EV is switched off. I see, so that's it. Do you even realize how many horror games I've played? Pretty much every horror game requires you to activate the elevator to progress. Classic trope. I just gotta switch this on, right? Yagumo reaches for the switch. Yagumo is confused when he tries lifting some of the cardboard boxes on the shelf. That's strange. They're so light. You think there's nothing in there. He opens some of the boxes just to be sure, but as expected, they're empty. The empty boxes are lined up neatly, but why? He checks some other boxes just to be sure, but as expected, the dust-coated boxes are all empty. I don't get it. It's not like cardboard boxes are collectible or anything. The inner room smells musty. If only I could find a clue on how to escape. The room's reflected in the glass due to lighting, but when Yagumo gets close enough to the glass, he can see the reference room he was just in. I see. So this is the fake mirror glass from the other room. What are these films doing in a place like this? It's weird how there's only one new cardboard box among all the old ones, too. Yagumo looks at the film cans again, but can find no answers. Anyway, I might find answers in these films, so let's get them out of here. Yes, the elevator's working. The overhead numerical display is showing 3F. Okay, now I just ride this thing up and smack that fox bastard upside the head. When he pushes the elevator button, the numerical display decreases to 2F, then 1F. Rumble. As Yagumo watches the numbers, his stomach reminds him he hasn't eaten in days. I got water but couldn't find food anywhere. Ah.
腹が減った。
Yagumo. A few hours earlier. After leaving the detectives, Magari, Hishitoa, and Kanade head east from Yunatsu on National Route 9. The number you have called is unavailable. It may be out of service or turned off.
やっぱりダメだね。相変わらず電源切ってるみたい。まだ監督、被疑者として追われてると思ってるでしょうからね。
そうなるとどこに向かえばいいですか？やはり広げの浜ですか？
そっちは三沢刑事たちが重点的に捜査してるだろうから、うちらはそこ以外にしておいた方がいいっすね。
なるほど。それじゃあ監督が移動してそうなところをいくつかピックアップしてみましょう。
It's another hot day today, perfect swimming weather, and thus even in the morning lots of people are at Kotogama Beach.
いや、ずいぶん向こうまで回ってみましたが見当たらないですね。というか人が多すぎてこの中に監督が紛れ込んでたら見つけるのは難しそうです。
ですね。あ、アイネさんも戻ってきました。おーい、そっちどうだった？
Magari kicks up sand as she comes back from her search on the other side. In her hand is a bottle of ramune that she must have bought somewhere.
アイネさん、そのラムネは？ですか？まあまあ、二人の分も買ってあるからさ、ほら。それともいらない？いりますよ。私だって暑いんですから。それじゃあ、はい。
The trio walks back to the parking lot, ramune bottles in hand. Once they step forward,
夜、ここに監督は呼び出されたんだよね。ええ、GPS では間違いないと思います。問題は300探せというメールの指示ですが、
広げという地域の300番地とかそういう意味では？
検索してみたんだけど、そもそも広げって住所はないみたいなんすよ。広げ遺跡や広げ海水浴場の住所も出雲市大社町になってるし、それに300番地ってのもまあありえないっしょ。ただそれが何を示遠くじゃないと思うんです。
それはどうしてそう思うんです？
メールの内容からすると指示を出した人物は 監督が警察に追われていることを知っていますよね。ようなリスクの高い指示は出さないんじゃないでしょうか。
なるほど、確かにそうですね。
ってことはこの辺りを中心に探せばいいのかな。
The trio heads to Matsue, where Studio Yagumo is on National Route 431, which passes from Inasa Beach along the north side of Lake Shinji. It's not going to be long, and not long after they depart. What? Shitoa suddenly shouts, causing Kanade to slam on the brakes. As soon as the van stopped, Shitoa dashes outside the van without a word. After parking the car on the shoulder, Kanade and Magadi chase after her. Standing out on the grass is an oddly designed telephone box. As Magadi stares at the surreal scene, Hishitoa, who had been examining the area, speaks up. Magadi and Kanade rush up from behind Hitoa. And just as she said, there is a sticker. There it is, a sticker on the telephone box that says 300 Hiroge.
このシール車から見えてたの？まさか。ただこの電話ボックス見つけた時に思ったんです。推理物なんかでかけてる場所を知られたくない時、電話ボックスってよく使われてるなって。
なるほど、確かによくありますね。しかしこの電話ボックスは
やちほこネット、やちほこネットと。ああ、出た出た。
Magadi looks up the name Yachiko Net written on the telephone box using her phone.
どうやらそれ NTT が設置してる公衆電話じゃなくて、やちほこ会って団体がやってるローカルのネットワーク回線電話みたいだね。
ネットワーク回線電話ですか。だとするとNTT のものとは違って記録すら残さず通話できますね。
うん、ネットワークへの接続記録は残るかもだけど、まさか警察もここまでは調べないだろうし。つまり犯人が監督。問題はここで監督が犯人とどんな話をしたかなんだけど。そっか、それがわからなきゃせっかくこれを見つけても意味は。こうしてみるとただの家庭用電話みたい。なんかこんな普通の電話が草むらの中に置いてあるのすごくシュールです。
確かにちょっと面白い光景ですね。監督が見たら喜びそうです。
They try looking around the grass to see if Yagumo had left a sign he had been there. And then...
島猫？なんでこんなとこに？もしかして監督の姿とか見なく。
Shimaneko takes a bow and goes off somewhere.
島猫ってどこでも現れるんですね。みたいね。
Random pages of a telephone book are torn, perhaps due to rain coming in the booth. Judging by the cover, it's not a professional telephone book, but a more limited local one.
痕跡残しておいてくれりゃいいんだけど、 この辺りにないかな。メモとか地図とかそういうのですか？うん。あるいはちぎったパンのかけらを点々と落としといてくれるとか。急にメルヘンですね。
Stoa casually flips through the phone book until she suddenly murmurs.
ここ破かれたページありますね。破かれてる。ええ、破いたとこ新しい感じがするから、もしかして監督だとすると例の癖が出てるかも。癖？そう、自分の予想が正しければ監督の痕跡残ってるはずなんだよねと。
As Marguerite explains, she flips through the telephone box's phone book. Eventually, she spots a torn page, stops, and looks at it closely from a different angle.
アイネさん何を？このページ破ったのはさ、多分犯人と話しながらメモを取ったからだと思うんだ。電源切っててスマホのメモ機能が使えない。しかもメモ帳も持ち歩いてない人間がとっさにメモする紙をってなったらそうするよね。んであのアホ監督、いつもやたら無駄に筆圧が高いから。お、見えた見えた。
Marguerite seems to have deciphered the writing indentations on the page underneath the torn page. She reads out each letter Yagumo had written.
岩見基礎か。岩見基礎か。そこに監督は向かったんですね。そういうことだろね。たく犯人のやつ、いちいち面倒な真似してくれるよ。
奇想感というのは何かわかりませんが、岩見はおそらく石見銀山のことでしょう。すぐに向かいましょう。
はい、頼んます。
The trio run to the van, thinking they've finally gotten a solid lead. Meanwhile, at the Capricious Hall.
くっそ、ここも県外かよ。
Yagumo grumbles at his phone screen. Yagumo had gone up to the third and highest floor, but his phone somehow still had no service. The windows are blocked too, so how do I get a signal in this building? If only I could get onto the roof. The bathroom, huh? Looks pretty fancy. Just the bathroom alone is about as big as my entire beat-up apartment. Alright, why don't we stop it there? This is audapostrophe. You've been watching Root Film on Nintendo Switch. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.